This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Season 7, Season 7, Season 7, Season 7, Season 7.
So, you know how I'm prone to airing all my weaknesses on this show, right?
Yes.
This is the Rubber Boots podcast brought to you by our friends at betsafe.net.
betsafe.net.
So today I was in Oakville, lovely Oakville. Brooksy and I had to run a couple errands, and Brooksy wanted to get a latte on the street. Oakville's a nice town, by the way. Very nice main street.
Lovely.
You can tell why Oakville's very shishy. And so I walked into a bakery, and there's a coconut cream pie.
Ooh, nice.
And I just bought the pie.
Oh,
Just sat in the car. They didn't have any utensils, so he was eating the pie with my hands.
Wow.
Wait,
The whole pie?
Well, I ate about 3/4 of the pie.
oh my
That's
God.
a Gilligan's
you were
Island.
dipping your fingers in.
Yeah, I was just like grabbing chunks of the
Oh,
pie, and I wasn't really even
disgusting.
hungry. It's just that I'm very much a visual food person, and so I saw the coconut cream pie, and I thought of Marianne and Gilligan's Island and plus in Turks and Caicos, you guys may remember at the Coco Bistro, they have a coconut cream pie. I think
They
I
do.
probably ate it with you guys because I
Yep.
love coconut cream pie. And I just wanted to know, is that okay? Is it okay for Jimmy to have a weakness, a breakdown like that? Just mangle a coconut cream pie with his hands in the car.
So is that just for that particular pie, or you see a piece of food and you must have it? Because that could be.
There is a visual, like I should be 400 pounds, really, because I will not be hungry at all, but I will walk past something and then decide I have to have it.
Mhm.
Can you go to the grocery store hungry?
That's not a good idea, but I will
No,
do that.
never a good
It's
idea for
never a good
anybody.
idea.
Never
What
a
is
good
your
idea.
biggest weakness? What would you walk by that you would have to have, that you
Like
needed to have?
Like at a grocery store or just in real restaurants?
Yeah, no, like crack. You could if you walk by a crack dealer, it could be crack for you, Puffy. But you know what I'm saying?
Duff's wings. Chicken wings.
Duff's wings, interesting. Lester,
It's more of a beverage for me. Coca-Cola.
really?
I love this stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I like
Interesting.
Coke too.
Yeah.
Will you have the Coke Zero or the Diet Coke or all that crap?
I've tried the
Full of
Coke
crap?
Zero. It's not bad, but honestly, just have the original, or just don't bother. Is my
I agree.
opinion. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. I mean, aspartame is not a very good thing, and the new Coke Zero is good. It's closer to Coke, real Coke, but still, Coca-Cola. I want to say
I was one of the few people that liked the new Coke. Back when the new Coke came out,
Like in the 80s?
Yeah,
was that the 80s, the 90s?
It was the
I
80s.
think that was the 90s. Was it? The 80s?
I love.
I was a kid. I was a kid when New Coke came
I
out.
was
Didn't you
very
like
young,
the
but-
new Coke?
No, it's terrible.
It was
You
amazing.
know what?
I hated
Let's put
New
it this
Coke.
way. I don't think, but can I say this? I don't think they ever intended to change it. I think it was a masterful piece of marketing that because they created such a clamor for the old Coke, and they had all this free advertising that they went back to the original.
That's a pretty smart idea.
Yeah.
It's even at the time, I thought it was brilliant, and I was a
Really?
kid too. Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Did you guys? Were you guys into the Pop Shop?
Yes.
Loved it.
So we were at a friend's cottage in Muskoka this summer, probably coming up on an upcoming edition of Jimmy's Summer Adventures, and they had a big pop machine for their grandkids and kids in like the barn, and it was a pop.
That's pretty awesome.
And it was full of Pop Shop, right? And I get a visceral reaction to Pop Shop because we had one at our cottage, and the purple and the orange and the green and all the colors, right? Pop Shop was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I picked up a bottle, and a Pop Shop pop has, I'll get this wrong, but something like 89 grams of sugar.
That feels real. Right?
One
Yeah.
Pop Shop will kill you. One
No,
Pop Shop
come
will
on.
kill you.
No, it's a
89
lot. It's
grams
a
of
lot.
sugar. That's like 2 teaspoons.
That is a lot of freaking sugar.
It is a lot of sugar.
Anyway, Pop Shop was a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing. Wink. I liked Wink when I was a child. Did anybody ever drink Wink?
Wink was good.
No, that's what
Wink was a kind of a lemon lime.
That-
was
that's
made by
My dad,
the
that's all he
folks
buys
in
is
Jim
Wink. Wink. I was a Wink guy.
Off the market or something.
I haven't had it in years, but what about Fresca?
Oh,
That's terrible.
Fresco was
What?
awful. Fresco was
You and I
awful.
like Fresca. You and I, Stoff.
Fresco was awful. Staff, you had to leave us there. So is everything okay with your dog?
Yeah. I think the Amazon guy came and Miles wasn't too happy. But,
that happens.
fix that.
We're going to get to Buddha, by the way, in a second. I'm going to talk about my beloved Buddha in just a minute. But Staff, is there anything that you can walk by that you have to have besides Nicole?
The words ran out of my mouth.
He's got to have her twice.
I don't know. French fries. French fries are pretty
Interesting.
tempting.
You and Brooksy.
Nice.
Brooksy's a French fry girl.
Really
Fresh
fresh
cuts.
French fries. Yeah,
Fresh
exactly.
cuts.
Yeah.
Not soggy
man.
laying around, but yeah, nice chip truck side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Good truck chop's good.
Yeah, you just
Brooksy,
give me an idea.
you guys know how healthy Brooksy is, but she has a big weakness for fries.
McDonald's
She likes the
fries?
truffle fries. And no, she likes like a shishi fry. A
Yeah.
truffle
No,
fry.
that's not really French fries. I'm talking. Staff and I are talking about like the
Chip
grease.
truck.
The bag
Yes.
was almost falling apart
Yeah,
because of the grease.
I don't
That's
think
what
she'll
we're
do that.
talking about.
I don't think
Yes.
she'll do that. I don't think she'll do
Gotta
that.
find the right one, buddy.
By the way,
Yes.
I was, we really should have a theme song for Things Brooksy Says.
Things that Brooksy says. Oh, yeah. Brooksy.
Wrote down a couple more this week, mostly hockey related. So
I love the look over the shoulder.
first of all, last night we were watching some hockey. It was Jovi scored 2 more goals, and the highlight came on, and she said, "Is that Opie?"
Close.
You can't be serious.
I'm not kidding.
Oh,
This one's
my
even
God.
this one's even better. Once a year, when I get my schedule, Brooksy will take her. She still goes with the old school daytimer, and she will write down everything in the daytimer. And so she wants my entire schedule. She wants to know when Jimmy's working. So Jimmy will go through his entire year, and she'll just mark down. She doesn't mark down what game I'm doing or where I am.
Yeah.
She just marks down that I'm working, so she knows that she can have her boyfriend over or whatever. And so we get to like the end of April, and I'm like, and then I'm like, then I'll be working every night, Brooksy, because it's playoffs. But so just put down every night or whatever. And she goes, well, what's all that part we just did? I said, well, that's the regular season. And she goes, 6 months? And I go, yeah, it's 82 games. And she goes, the Leafs will be out well before that. So and I'm like,
Actually, in fairness, this year she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
she's right, but I mean, they do all have to play the 82, Brooksy. It's not.
You just canceled the last 15.
She's the best.
Well, in fairness to Brooksy, they have not played all 82 the last couple of years. There has been.
Maybe she's just a little ahead of all of us.
And in the playoffs, they barely played. So.
Our friend Lester has a big hockey game today, so he's going to be leaving us early. Lester, do you want me to talk about Buddha, or do you want me to? Because I don't want to make you cry. Do you want to leave for that and maybe go through some of the other stuff that Stoff's prepared
Let's
here?
go through some of the other stuff. I'm feeling a little emotional today.
All right. First of all, let's get to the things that I saw on the Twitter.
Nice.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
All right, so this one's not actually a thing I saw on Twitter. I read it on Reddit.
Oh, nice.
Might need a new theme for that. Reddit on Reddit.
It writes itself.
So I didn't forget it.
Well, nice.
I read it on Reddit.
And now I regret it.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so
Are you on
basically,
the Reddit a lot? Are you on the Reddit a lot? My son's on the Reddit a lot.
Yeah, I go on Reddit quite a bit.
I don't
I like
do the
it.
Reddit.
I don't understand Reddit. I don't even really know what it is.
see, you know what? It's
Feels
funny
like is that the dark web?
I've realized that when it comes to social media, I prefer like the written ones over the visual ones. Like I don't sit on Instagram too long. I don't care for TikTok at all.
What?
And meanwhile, like Twitter's my thing. I like Reddit. So like for me, the socials are you just waste so much time watching crap. I find like words I can skim through and find something.
That you've just described Puffy's entire life.
No, I understand, but that's
I don't know you right now.
Yeah, no, Reddit's like more like links to articles and things, right?
It's just people posting different stuff. It's just.
But
another
Reddit's
way to
got
post it.
a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah,
comes
that's where
off of
like the
Reddit too, right?
QAnon stuff starts.
It's a whole lot of anything because basically there's threads for anything, so you can
Right.
find stuff you like.
Right.
So yeah, you can
Right.
find some crazy people on there, much like you can on any other site.
I've done a couple of when my books are out. The Reddit people ask me to do something called
AMA.
AMA.
anything.
Ask me anything. So I go on Reddit
Oh.
for 45 minutes and people ask questions. And
I
they're
did not
always,
think that's what that stood for.
what did you think it was?
I thought it was something sexual.
Of course you did.
Did not
Because that's
think
what you
A-
learned on TikTok.
Exactly. Hey, TikTok's the best.
Yeah. Anyway, so Reddit, the
So,
astrology con.
I found this post about a guy who works at a place where they are obsessed. His coworkers are obsessed with astrology, and he hates it. He thought it was stupid. Astrology to him doesn't mean anything. So in
I'm
order
with
to
him.
show them how stupid it is, he decided to tell them he's actually a different sign than he was. So he told them he's a Leo. Meanwhile, he's not.
Okay.
And so every time he would do something, they would be like, "Oh, that's so Leo," or whatever. And then
I always love that.
his overall payoff was going to be eventually like, well, you know what? I'm not a Leo. However, his boss is one of these, I guess, astrology obsessed people. And he's noticed that he's been getting better work. I guess he got a promotion out of this whole thing. So now he's kind of stressing as to he's basically living in fear that he might have his birthday exposed at some point.
That's awesome.
You know, in a company database or like a happy birthday email or something. And they'll find out that he's not a Leo and that he's been faking it the whole time.
Wow.
So, pretty funny dilemma. What would you do in his shoes?
It sounds like a
yeah, like
sitcom. It sounds like a bit of a sitcom episode, or you could stretch it into a, Drew Barrymore early 2000s rom-com.
Which would have been awesome.
Someone in the comments section
With
for this
Adam
wrote
Sandler.
that it reminded them something George Costanza would do.
Yeah.
Very much
I
so.
could kind of see this on a Seinfeld, whether it's him or Kramer or whatever. It's just you do something and it actually works in your favor, and now you got to keep it alive.
It's like the opposite.
It's funny because me and my buddies used to have a line we would use all the time, and I don't know where we stole it from, but somebody would do something. It would be like, "Oh, Mark, always the wild and carefree Leo." I don't know where we got it from, but we'd always say that, which was only funny to our friends, but we thought it was funny because we thought astrology was ridiculous as well. So I have a lot of respect for this guy, and I say, just play it out as long as you can.
I mean,
And if you get caught, then you come clean.
They can't fire him.
No, they can't fire
The
him.
boss can't come forward and say, "Well, I only gave you all this work because I thought you're a Leo."
Could say you
That's crazy.
misrepresented himself.
Yeah.
Right?
They could say that. Is he
Right.
on the cut? It'll be interesting to find out if he's on the cusp of Leo somehow.
Like, right on the edge of the dates.
I would guess he isn't, because if you're trying to prove to these people that astrology,
Lester, you're
he's
a
probably on
quirky
the other
artsy
side.
guy. You're a quirky artsy guy. Do you believe in astrology?
Well, let's put it this way. That's a very Piscean trait, and I'm Pisces. So
Oh God.
It's amazing that some people live by this stuff.
okay, I'll
They
tell you
make
this. I'll tell you this. I am convinced that I can't date Aquarius women.
Wow.
Because I'm not
So
kidding.
You are into it.
Why? Because they
not kidding.
don't have legs. They just have like a tail.
1/12 of our audience just got really disappointed.
No, I'm just saying. I just have bad experiences with Aquarius women for some reason.
What
Meanwhile,
was Brandy a Capricorn?
Brandy is an Aries actually, so
You know
it's
that.
but we're both March babies. If you must
Okay, so why don't you guess what we are then? If you're Mr. Astrology Boy, what are we?
Yeah.
know. James, you are.
He's Googling your birthday.
No, I'm not. You're a Taurus.
I am a Taurus.
Are you serious? Are you seriously a Taurus?
Whoa! Mind blown.
That is insane. Seriously, that he called that. That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right, Puffy.
Okay, what am I?
Puffy?
You're not going to find that on the Google machine in front of you, kid.
No, exactly.
He's
Are
looking.
you a
though.
Cancer?
Well, people have said that, but I am a Taurus.
Older
I am
Taurus
also
work
a Taurus.
reviews.
Okay.
Taurus. That's why we get along so well, Puff. You and me, we're bulls.
Bulls.
We're men with horns.
It's a bull market, baby.
Seriously, Taurus is the coolest sign, whether you believe in astrology or not.
Yeah,
Taurus is the coolest
It's the
sign.
best.
Okay, are you a Pisces stuff?
No,
Okay. Okay, I don't know what you're
I'm a
saying.
Cancer, but I was
You're a
giving
Cancer.
off some serious Pisces vibes there. I think that's-
Yes, you are. Why are you so
Well, I
Pisces,
fooled you.
Doc? Why are you always being so Pisces?
Wow.
On the TikTok, they said that somebody was like, astrology is just for hot girls to explain why bad things happen in their lives.
Lester, do you
Well,
got to
that
go play
makes it
hockey?
fact. So
I do got to go play hockey, but I will just close this off by saying that it's not something that I absolutely 100% believe. But I think there is something to be said for people who have different traits and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I do take it seriously somewhat.
So hold on. Say like the most beautiful woman, you meet her and she's single and she's super into you, but she's, what is it, Aquarius?
Aquarius?
You would like not go out with her?
Well, no, I go out with her, but I'm just saying that
It depends what phase the
one of the
moon's
most
in.
beautiful women I've ever dated in my life was Aquarius. It just didn't work out. But I'm not going to blow her off because she's Aquarius.
Okay.
You know.
But you would never truly believe it's going to work out because of her sign.
No, I wouldn't say that either. But I would definitely have it in the back of my mind. You know.
Oh wow.
See, I mean, but meanwhile, my brother, my brother, he's an Aquarius. So I'm not dating my brother, but you know what I mean. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like,
Well, I would never, it would never work out.
doomed from the beginning.
All right, guys,
Okay.
listen, I'm gonna go, but I will try to see if is it possible? You think I could do this from the car?
Maybe.
Try.
Or when you get to the rink, do it from the ice.
Yeah.
A little camera on your helmet.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
Don't worry,
All right, guys.
Do it up.
Lester,
problem. We'll
get
make
puck
fun of you
steep,
while you're
buddy.
gone.
Get puck
I'll get
steep.
puck steep. All right, guys, I'm out. See ya.
Let's make fun of him now for the rest
Yeah,
of the
for the rest
pod.
of the time.
Lester believes in astrology. No, I mean, I don't have any opposition to people that believe in astrology. It's just, I think it's a joke. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I've ever given.
But we
it a
respect
thought.
Lester and any of our listeners who believe in astrology.
For sure.
And any of the executives at betsafe.net. If you believe in astrology,
So do we.
Imagine
we
the entire company is all they believe in. We're just carving it. Lester's doing a one-man pod next week.
Its actual logo is a combination of Cancer, Aquarius, and no. You're right. I'm looking. There's stuff out there in the world. I don't understand how the world works, but I used to read the astrology in the paper because I could kick out of it. But I always just found that stuff so general that it can apply or not apply to everybody. Right?
Yeah.
You could read it. You could read any sign and find something. Right? It's the magic. Just like those psychics when they're doing readings on people, they throw out stuff.
Mhm.
Your grandmother died recently. Yeah, she did 14 years ago. Wow. She was old. She says she loves you.
Wrong. She never loved me.
I see a bike. There's something about a bike. I used to ride a bike. I ride a bike when I was a kid. Continue on with things that I saw on Twitter stuff.
Well, now that we've conquered astrology, let's head on over to the gridiron and college football, where Mike Leach, head coach of Mississippi State, did this interview at the end of the game.
We talked about on the broadcast how you hate candy corn. What's your favorite Halloween
Candy
candy?
corn. I mean, I completely hate candy corn. When I was a kid, well, gummy bears. Let's see. Gummy bears for sure.
Sour or regular?
The Haribo. It's got to be the Haribo ones. And then the other thing I like is when they used to have the sprees in a box. Outstanding. You have to go to the dollar store to find it, but I do. And then the latest, there's still candy innovation. Although a while back I found that Europe had better candy than we did overall, because they have gummy everything. And then, they have those Nerds clusters, which is new.
The gummy.
Yeah, which is good. The Nerds clusters is good. And then if you go chocolate, probably Almond Joy.
Love it. Hopefully you'll get some of that next week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, the man knows his gummy bears. The
I
man
think
knows his
Mike-
candy.
Mike Leach and I would have a lot of fun together. I mean, we just talk football and smash candy. I'd like to do a one-on-one with him at the Bulk Barn.
I was just gonna say, would you take $1,000 or a trip to Bulk Barn with Mike Leach?
I think I'd go with Mike Leach. I think we'd have a lot of fun. We have a lot in common.
If our listeners, you like watching Puffy work a Bulk Barn it's like Barry Sanders in his prime.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I'm seeing holes that people didn't know were there.
It's unbelievable to watch. It's almost as unbelievable as watching him and O-Dog eat the entire giant bag from
Hold on, there's a
during
lot
one
more.
period.
Pretty much the only one who doesn't dip into the Bulk Barn stash is you, Jimmy. You stay clear of it. But COVID has slowed down the sharing of Bulk Barn at work.
COVID just shut Bulk Barn all down altogether.
Oh no! My favorite Bulk Barn experience has been post-COVID.
What do you mean?
Because the first time I went back, like you got your own personal attendant who shopped with you.
Oh,
and it felt very
caddy.
Do they scoop for you?
Yeah, they scooped for you. It was amazing. I'm like, well, why we ever go back?
Did you tip them at the end?
Oh,
Puffy.
There is a 0% chance I did.
Ouch.
And it was more just out of not even thinking about it.
Give him a Tootsie Roll or something.
Yeah, you got to throw him something there.
I guess I could have won on the back nine. I probably could have slid them something. But I mean, in fairness to me, we were in a cashless society at that point. There was no currency exchange. And I don't think there was a tip option on Interact.
Good point. Hey, I was just thinking about this last night because I was talking to my son and I were getting into a discussion about bartending and waitering. Not that that's what you're going to describe.
I was going to say, sounds like he's really striving to be the best he can be.
He's not killing the little animals anymore.
But a couple years at university, I think I'm going to be a bartender, Dad. Get more chicks.
In the day when everything was cash, bartenders and waitresses would make a haul because they wouldn't have to declare anything they made off of tips, right?
Yeah.
Would you now say that, I don't know what the percentage would be, Stoff's better at this stuff than I would, but maybe 90% of transactions are, tips off a credit card or tips off the bank machine where you have to put in 18 or 20%, which somehow would be registered. And I would guess that would have to be declared. You'd get some sort of printout of what you make. Maybe we have a waiter or a waitress or a bartender who watches the show who can tell me, but I'm guessing that doesn't go undeclared. It's in a system now. It's in the computers. So you think it's tougher being a person like that you wouldn't be able to walk away with 500 cash.
So do you think they're getting like paychecks now in their tips or are they getting tipped out at the end of the night?
I think that was always happening because you used to always be able to tip with a credit card or whatever as well. But mostly people did cash. So I'm not sure how they adjusted to it. But so Jimmy, you're suggesting that the restaurant pays them out. This is almost part of their pay. So the restaurant's going to declare it on their end. So now they have to declare it on
something a lot. So I'm not sure that they get it on their paycheck. I'm sure it may still be distributed at the end of the night somehow. But yeah, I think you have to report it somehow because it's documented. So that would suck. Now, what about a strip joint? Like I'm not, I don't frequent those establishments, but is there like, if in the old champagne room days, did she bring like the machine in now or what? Again, viewer feedback. Scott from Germany. Can you get back to us on that? Some of those German establishments.
I think Scott from Germany is the guy behind the mask in Squid Game. Well, we haven't heard from him in a while.
Scotty emailed me this week actually about something. He asked me if he said, "Hey, do you ever do those things?" Joe Buck, I guess, is famous for taking a word and working it into a show. One of his buddies. He wants me to do that, but I'm terrified of the words that Scott is going to give me to work into the show. But I said I was game if he wanted to try it. So maybe I'll. Much easier to fit in an episode of the Rubber Boots podcast brought to you by betsafe.net, would you not say? I can do this one, Stoff, our friends from Finland. Remember, I volunteered them to translate our show into Finnish, and they said that they're 100% game on awesome. Doing that. Yeah. So we're going to be in Finnish, available by season 8. Stoff, we're going to be available in Finnish.
For sure.
Perfect.
So you'll be able to watch the Rubber Boots podcast in English. in Finnish, or in Finnish with subtitles, or dubbed in Finnish but dubbed into English.
Nice.
That would be great if they translated to Finnish and then we redubbed it but used different voices. So like I was like Puffy's voice.
That'd be perfect.
I do not believe in astrology either, James.
Hey, that's not how I sound.
That's the point. It wouldn't be how you sound.
Oh.
Idiot.
Damn it.
Was there anything more stuff? Or do you want to get to our new segment?
Oh, we can get to our new segment. It is called Bet Safe Breaking News.
That was my breaking news noise.
Now, this is very much breaking news. This is very suspenseful. At the beginning of this season, we prior to launching into our Rubber Squid podcast, we learned of Squid Game, and it kind of reminded us of something that we had seen on this very podcast, an idea that Puffy brought forth called Murder Island.
Yes.
Where people go off to an island and they compete, losers are killed off, basically. So I was like, oh man, that's a tough break for Puffy there. But whatever, the idea of Murder Island still lives. It's still out there. Maybe we can make this happen. And so when I was tweeting out some of our social content, I used the hashtag Murder Island. Afterwards, I went to the tweet and curiously just tweeted on it, and I saw a bunch of people were tweeting about something called Murder Island. And they were like, oh, on episode 2, I think it's this and this. On episode 3, I think it's this and this. So I thought to myself, is Murder Island a show already? Well, wouldn't you know it, it's a show in the UK on Channel 4 called Murder Island. However, this one has a different premise.
Okay.
It's a writer from the murder mystery genre who sets up a fake murder in like a town or on an island, and there's like, I think 8 or 12 groups of couples trying to solve the murder. First one that solves it wins. But
so it's a reality show. Like
it's a reality show called Murder Island.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually. I better watch that show. I actually thought you were telling me Squid Game wants to give me some of their money from Netflix because they stole my idea.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's an article out there. The guy who created the Squid Game franchise, he says he has not received like any bonus money from Netflix or anything. It was just what the original contract was. So he made them all these millions of dollars and
nothing for it.
He said he's taken care of, he's well compensated or whatnot. It's just
well, you got to have in your
how
contract.
Big the hit was. Yeah.
You got
to pay in the end.
You got to have in your contract. Like when we did the Rubber Boots Pod, when I signed my deal with Bell Media, like I didn't know that it was going to result in whatever 15 million more subscribers to the Bell app. So we got to get our piece of that.
Yeah,
we got to get our piece of that. That's just said. I'll be having another chat with Mirko this week.
How did the last one go?
Went really good. Let's get to listener mailbag.
Rubber Boots Podcast. Listener mail. Thank you for listening.
Oh, there's a theme.
So Snake Bites Pete. He sent us that great SCTV skit about Battle of the Network Stars, which was. Can you tweet out the link on the Rubber Boots account?
Yeah,
from Snake Bites Pete. Some of our younger listeners might not get it because it's Howard Cosell and Dick Cavett. Yeah, but when they actually get into the sporting, what was the event again? What is it? It's a boxing match between Julia Childs fighting
a boxing match.
It's Battle of the Network Stars, right? And Howard Cosell's the play-by-play, and it's Julia. No, it's a parody. It's an SCTV parody.
SCTV, yeah.
It's Julia Childs, who's John Candy as Julia Childs fighting Martin Short as I can't remember now, but it's so good. It's just so good. Anyway, check that out. We'll tweet it on our account. Thank you, Snake Bites Pete, for that. What else?
One thing I was thinking for that we could do is, how they have those boards, like depending on when you were born, like the month will correspond with this. Like if you're looking for a porn star name or some stupid
right.
stuff.
Yeah. Right.
So I thought we could do one for Network Stars. If you were in Network Stars, who would you face off against, and in what competition? So basically, what we'll do is we'll put together a board. that you take the month. So let's say February, and that will correspond to boxing, water polo, or whatever. And then the date that you were born on, that will be the celebrity you'd go up against. And then our listeners can tweet in and tell us who they'd be going against in what competition and if they like their chances.
Right. But Lester can't fight an Aquarius.
You might want to.
Yeah, it would be a bloodbath.
So you're gonna put that together, because that just sounds like way too much work for Buffy, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
And we'll recap next week.
So you have 12 different games
and 31 different celebrities.
Oh, nice.
Wow, okay. All right, that sounds like fun. We'll do that. What else you got from the listener mailbag? You got anything else?
Yeah,
I ran out of your. I lost track of your sheets.
You ran out of paper for my notes.
Permissive.
We do have a brand new segment we can launch in here. Actually, as part of
two new segments in one show.
This is what happens.
I got excited.
Fell over.
You're right there, buddy.
This car rolled.
Got excited there. 2 segments.
Two new segments.
Bets 8%.
Nice.
Rubber Boots reacts. We are reacting to Chris Beaudry, friend of the podcast, sends in a still from a award-winning Source commercial, which shows Jimmy playing video games. And so I'm just wondering, Jimmy, since you're such a e-gamer now, what game were you playing in the commercial?
Well, look, it was a car racing game.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not
Mario
familiar.
Kart.
I'm not 100% familiar with the names of the games. I'd have to ask Gracie, because she loaded the Xbox up. But it was not Mario Kart. It was like Dune Buggies or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Dune Buggy Racer, I think it was called. That's probably not what it's called. Would you want to go over that commercial? Well, we'll wait till next week when Lester's on the show, where you guys can do a full critique of my acting skills on the Source commercial. And then we can play the Source commercial. We'll give people another week to see it, because it runs basically every commercial break on TSN.
Yeah.
Getting its money's worth. I was just wondering, if you guys were e-gamers, you had to play a game to make a living, any game from history that you've ever played, what would you choose?
Frogger.
I think you have a best shot at Frogger.
Super Mario Brothers.
Which one?
The first one.
First one, okay.
What about Electronic Quarterback? That one? Can I go that far back?
Yeah,
Electronic Quarterback?
Whatever.
The golf ones too. Any golf game.
Oh yeah, the early golf games, like the early ones that were on like a computer, like an IBM one.
Yeah, just power and direction.
Where you had to hold the one key down to take your backswing and then release it at the impact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would shoot 61s regularly. I would have won the FedEx Cup if that was real golf.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
All right. So what else you got going on here?
People complain about the short podcast. I don't think that will happen this week. Greg Lockhart.
Are we still in Rubber Boots React? Are we still in Rubber Boots React?
Yeah, we're reacting to the reactions of the reaction. Trying to keep up. Greg Lockhart said, "Is this almost over? I told my family it's always over an hour. What am I going to do for the rest of the hour?" So poor Greg had to go and face his family 30 minutes early last week.
That wasn't good.
Listen again.
We were a little short last week.
Yeah.
It's just nothing happened in our world. Some weeks nothing happens in our world. So, I don't want to, actually almost every week nothing happens in the world. Sometimes we just talk more about it.
So we did have 2 other things that, Jimmy, you promised, but I don't know if you prepared them. So we can cut it here.
Wait, I do. I'm prepared. Okay. Songs. Okay. Double entendre songs. Rubber Boots Reacts, episode 1. I was ready for it.
Everything's Rubber Boots Reacts now. Brought to you by Let's Say by
research. And this is the first episode where I've had a laptop with me. I've had to borrow Brooksy's laptop for this episode. Okay, so I did some research on a tool called Google. And these are songs with double entendres, or songs that maybe you thought the meaning was one thing, and it was really another thing, which is where we were getting at, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the Goo Goo Dolls Slide.
Yep.
Let it slide. Isn't that song?
Yeah,
I'll do anything you ever need to be complete. That is about an unplanned pregnancy. I bet you didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Unplanned pregnancy. How about this? Third Eye Blind, Semi-Charmed Life.
Yep.
I want something else to get me through this semi-charmed kind of life. Very happy song, right?
Yeah.
Drug addiction, gotta be.
It's about drug addiction. Yes, you're right. Okay, so I guess I didn't surprise you with that one, did I?
Well, you said it was a hidden meaning, so I just went the opposite way.
Puffy, wasn't that the night out in Chicago where you didn't know there was a band?
They played that song or that drug addiction?
Yeah, Semi-Charmed Kind of Life. Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
Probably.
That was you, right? That was you.
Yeah,
right?
it was me. Yeah. But that was just alcohol.
Did we ever talk about that night stuff on the podcast?
I don't know. I don't think
we had a night out in Chicago, and it was Puffy and I the McKenzie brothers, Sportsnet, Sean McKenzie, and the GM of the Kitchener Rangers. What's going on? Mike McKenzie. And we were at
Puffy, there's someone coming up to your side.
Oh, that's my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's the mailman. And my buddy Brandimir.
And your band Brandimir. And Puffy consumed a lot of alcohol. We were at a bar with a live band, a very good live band. And we were right up at the front, with the bands. And we danced for like 2 hours straight. And I remember they played Semi-Charmed Kind of Life. That's what I remember most from that band. And Puffy said the next day, well, that was a really good DJ. And I said, Puffy, that was a band. He said, what? It was a band? Like, Puffy, we were right in front of the stage for 2 hours.
I think I might have been on the stage at some point. Yeah. I think I pissed off every single person in that bar at one point.
All right, here's a big one. This one I have trouble believing. I think Stoff and the skeptical side will call bullshit on this. Semisonic's Closing Time.
It's about the bar closing.
Time. One last call for alcohol.
Yeah, that's 100%. That is, the bar is closing. You leave.
So Semisonic's lead singer, Dan Wilson, revealed the song is actually about the birth of his daughter.
No, it's not. He's lying.
He's saying like his life, it's a new start. He's not gonna like drink after this.
I think so. I know.
Stupidest thing.
I think that's one of those like the song became like
baby home.
I want to take me home. Maybe he's talking to his daughter. Take her home from the hospital. Take me home.
He's talking about who he wants to go home with after a night.
I'll tell you what it is. They wrote a song. It became a hit, and then years later, he figured, I'm gonna become famous again by saying that this is about something completely different.
It's the most basic song.
Also confirmed here what I reported in, season 3 of the podcast. This is an actual quote. Brian Adams, interviewed by the CBS Early Show in 2008, said, a lot of people think Summer of 69 is about the year, but it's about making love in the summertime. It's using 69, the position, as a sexual reference. Boom.
Everyone knew that. No?
Wow. I didn't.
He didn't know it. And remember when I said that on the episode, I made fun of him. A whole bunch of people came forward and said things. Okay. There's a few more. Mbop apparently is about something besides mbop.
It's what's in. Oh no,
any relationships in life.
They're little.
All right, so Zach Hansen from Hansen said mbop represents a frame of time. It's an mbop, and then the moment is gone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what we.
But wouldn't that be just single entendre? What's the other meaning of that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that Zach Hansen said in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, it's the most understood song of all time. 99% of the people don't understand what we were really singing about.
I don't think they were singing about anything.
Okay, no, people just thought it was a catchy little jingle.
Anyway, that was one article that I got from one Google search. So maybe I'll do. It also sent me a link to the 21 of the funniest misheard lyrics of all time.
Oh, nice!
Should I save that till next week?
I would. That could be breaking news. That could be breaking news.
That could be Rubber Boots.
Is Hold Me Close, Young Tony Danza going to be on there?
I believe Hold Me Close, Young Tony Danza was one of the ones here. I'll get one other one here. There was one from a Taylor Swift song that's it's not yet.
Is Brown Eyed Girl, does it start off Hey Rodrigo?
Hey Rodrigo. It's Hey Where Do We Go? Taylor Swift's Blank Space. This is, I guess, one. Her line, got a long list of ex-lovers. A lot of people think it's all the lonely Starbucks lovers.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. It's not that. It's got a long list of ex-lovers.
You're not
saying the
James.
same
It's
thing. I
product
can't even
placement.
tell you saying
They paid her for that.
Do you remember the
Starbucks in there?
Frankie Valli and Four
What a
Seasons? My eyes adore you. Remember that song?
No.
When I was a kid,
I only know what.
I thought that was My Sweet Georgia. Anyway, I'm going to find some more. I'm going to find some better ones.
I just found a double entendre, but I can't. It's way too lewd.
Why? No. It's
what's
fine.
too lewd for us?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's possible.
Honey by Maria Carey is about swallowing and in parentheses, and I love it. So
that changes that song.
That's straight off of Reddit, so that's Reddit.
I'm going to be listening to that without pants on now.
Well, here's another one. Apparently, Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer. People think it's, whoa, we're halfway there. Oh, Squidward on a chair from SpongeBob SquarePants.
No
one thinks that.
No one thinks
Squidward. That's what this says in this
What the
article.
hell
It's
is
on,
Squidward?
it's on insider.com.
Is there like 4 R's after Insider?
Apparently, in Guns N' Roses Paradise City, some people, perhaps from Canadian province, thinks it's instead of "Take Me Down to Paradise City" is actually "Take Me Down to Prairie Dog City."
No one thinks that.
People think that apparently.
No one does.
It's in insider.com. Maybe people could send us their favorites, and we'll have it on Rubber Boots Reacts next week.
And in 3 weeks from now, we will feature the 15 most perverted double meanings songs in Bollywood. So stay tuned for that.
I like that.
There's a segment right there. I was going to finish today by talking about my man Buddha. I didn't really realize we spent so much time last week talking about Taffy. And how's Taffy, by the way, this week? Tell me,
not
Taffy's
good.
doing well.
Not good. She stopped eating last 2 days. So we're making chickens. Probably. I mean, we're Tanya's still trying to hang on, but I'm like, if she doesn't eat the next 24 hours, it's.
Well, I tell you what.
Good.
What I thought I would do is it's actually therapeutic for me to go through this, and I thought. People who don't want to listen to this, they don't have to. But we lost Buddha last week. It came really quite suddenly. It's funny. You and I, we did this podcast. When we taped this podcast? Last Monday?
Yeah.
I in the afternoon after taping the podcast, I was out throwing the soother around for Buddha. That's his favorite thing. He played fetch with me in like 2 hours. Then Tuesday, he started to just go downhill incredibly rapidly. And I'd mentioned he was starting to go deaf. So now blind and deaf. And then he started to stumble around everywhere. And so we were worried about him. And he started sleeping in our closet since Gracie left. And I put up all this padding in the closet to make sure he wouldn't run into anything. And he woke me up about 4 a.m. the next day. And he was just cowering in the back of the closet, shaking. And it was a pathetic sight. It was really hard to see. So I rushed him to the emergency vet in our about 20 minutes from us. And they sort of kept him during the day. They didn't really know what to do, but they were going to monitor him. And they had conversations with my other vet and, from what they observed, and they basically called me at the afternoon and said, we don't think there's anything we can do for him. It's clearly something like he's either got a brain tumor or, something with cancer that's gone a long way without being detected. And he's sort of losing his capacities. And so we made the decision that we were going to put him down that night at 7 o'clock. So Darian happened to be home. She was going to come with me. Brooksy didn't want to have anything to do with it. I was terrified, frankly, of doing it, but had to. And then they called me at 4 and said, you got to get over here right now because he's not going to make it. Which in some ways, as hard as it was to hear, was somewhat reassuring, Puffy, because I did hate the idea of making the decision on your own, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
Now, in your case, it's pretty clear, Taffy's time is coming, right? But so I I thought I'd take people through it really quickly. If you have to go through it, if you've been through it before, the place we went to, Darian and I came in, sat down, they gave us a room. They brought Buddha in. He was on oxygen by this point, so he's hooked up to a little IV.
Would have been so cute looking.
He did. He had, his paw wrapped up with the IV coming out. They wrapped him in like 2 big towels, blankets, so he was nice and warm. And he was semi-conscious, like looked at us for sure, but was having some trouble breathing. And we sat with him for, I don't know, an hour, maybe. They said they were really good. They said, take as long as you want, basically, and then just tell us when you're ready. And we FaceTime the other kids, which, I asked them, do you want to see this? You don't have to see this. If you want your memories of Buddha to be something different, that's fine. But they all wanted to FaceTime with him. That was the hardest part because everybody was bawling. I was bawling. Darian was bawling. Jared, Gracie on the line, Brooksy. That was that was very tough. And Darian didn't want to stay, so she left me at a certain point, and I spent a few minutes with him, and then finally the nurse came in, and I said I was ready, and they basically inject him to something that essentially puts him to sleep, real sleep, and then she asked me if I'm ready, and they put in another thing that goes into his IV, and it was over in like 15 seconds. She takes his heartbeat and tells me he's gone, and then she leaves again and say you can have as much time as you want. And that was the only awkward thing because I wanted 5 or 10 minutes just to hold him again. But then after that, I was kind of ready to go. I remember when I was with my previous dog, rigor mortis started to set in quite fast, and that was just uncomfortable for me. I didn't want that. So I sat there. She said, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I said, I only need 5 minutes. Come back in 5. She never came back. So I sat there. For half an hour.
You're like, oh God.
I was all cried out at this point, and I was just like, okay, I don't want to just put my dog down on the bench and leave. So I ended up having to call the vet that I was in, and I'm like, get the front desk. I'm like, I'm in room 6. Could you please come in because I've been just sitting here waiting too long with my dog. And and then the other part is, and you'll probably go through this. I mean. This is not my regular vet I was at, and I won't say the name of the place. They were very good, but then they come in and try and sell you stuff, right? They come and sell you a fancy. Okay, do you want the fancy urn? Do you want the? Yeah. We wanted the ashes because I thought it would be cool to spread him in the backyard. Buddha loved our backyard, and that's where he spent most of his time. But I wasn't going to get any fancy urn or anything like that. I said, just give me a bag of his ashes, and that'll be fine. And the other thing, there's a whole website of stuff. They'll take like paw prints and make little things out of his paw prints. But I said to myself, I would have rather done that when he was alive. Yeah. Than some person, like they send him to Guelph. Apparently there's a veterinary school in Guelph. I think that's where they do the actual
cremating,
cremation and everything. Okay. And I didn't really like the idea of taking paw prints with my rigor mortis passed on dogs. So we passed on all the cutesy stuff, Puffy, but just so you know, that's what you might be in for.
Yeah, no, they talked to us about that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, in a way, like an extremely painful day and couple of nights and week, frankly, of him not being around and us getting used to that. But it is kind of beautiful in a way to be able to be there in the end, Puffy. So as painful as it's going to be for you, I think that once you get through that day, that it was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to be there, and it felt like a really peaceful way for him to go.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. So we're hoping the same for Taff.
Yeah, it'll be hard for you though. I feel for you, buddy, because that's dogs are an amazing part of the family. And what's yours name again? Milo. What's yours?
Miles. Yeah, Miles.
How old's Miles?
He's 12.
Yeah. So how's he doing? Is he pretty healthy?
He's pretty good. Like his hearing's starting to go, and his sight's starting, like he doesn't see as far anymore. But that's been like for over a year now, and the decline hasn't been that steep. So right now he's still doing good. Physically, he's in really good shape.
That's good.
His back paws when he does the stairs, you can tell he's getting tired, but he's still doing well. He's a bit of a grumpy old man. Sometimes he doesn't like doing a whole lot, but you take him outside and he's almost like a puppy still adventuring.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
They hit a certain age too, like 6 or 7. They just start sleeping like 20 hours a day.
They calm down. Yeah. Well, Brooksy said the one thing we noticed was like we didn't really realize how active Buddha was, because I think I talked about it on social media. I'm sure I've talked about it on the show. Like he's obsessed with these soothers, right? And like we will play fetch with him like I won't even notice it. I'll be lying on the couch and he'll just bring it to me for like 3 hours straight, and I don't even think. Right? I just keep chucking it because he was an expert. He would put it exactly where he knew you would. Like he'd put it on your chest or he'd put it right in your hand, and I would just do it, or Brooksy would do it for 3 hours a day. And we realize now, like even Hugo, who's active, like these Frenchies just sleep 3/4 of the day. It's so quiet in our house now. It's crazy, but dogs are the best. Anybody out there? We have a lot of young listeners or young families. If you're wavering on getting a dog, as painful as that day was, man, the positive, that they bring you for whatever years you have them for, man, it's so great. It's so great especially what I think kids benefit so much from having a dog around.
My guys absolutely loved her. I love her.
Oh, but they just learn loyalty and kindness and just all sorts of things from a dog. So I'm a big dog guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to end the show on a sad note, but I needed to talk about my Budsy boy. He was a good one. We miss you, Buddha.
Sure.
So that's it for this week. 2 great new segments, Stoff.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Can we get Lester to get themes for those,
fresh off the
short
ice?
Time? Fresh off the ice because you haven't done tonight?
Just start playing.
Let's do a prediction right now on how Lester did in the game. Let's do our own little pool. That's our first Gold Bar League contest. Let's go with final score. Lester's team versus Team Aquarius.
Okay.
And
a lot of brawls on that one.
Should we do an over/under? Do we do what should we do, Puffy? What lines?
Over/under would be a men's league game. I'm going to say 6.5 is the over/under.
This is the BetSafe. This is the official BetSafe line. 6.5.
6.5 goals in the game.
Do you think a men's league or is it pickup? Do you think? Because pickup could be a lot more than 6.
Yeah, pickup. The over/under would be like 42. But I'm gonna guess it's a men's league game.
Okay,
if he's that serious about getting there.
Over 6.5. I'm gonna go over. Stoff.
What if I think he's just on the rebounder right now? He made the whole hockey thing up. That's the under, I guess. I'll take
that's the under. You're taking the under.
What are you taking, Buff?
I'm going over 6.5.
Okay. Let's do just a straight win-loss. Lester's team wins or loses. I'm going to go loss.
I'm going to say loss as well.
So much confidence.
Dear Aquarius got in his head. I'm gonna go with Lester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Lester doesn't play goal, right? Lester doesn't play goalie, right?
I think he's a defenseman.
Okay, so let's go over under Lester points as 1.
Okay.
Go ahead, Puff.
I'm gonna say under.
I'm gonna say he's gonna give himself credit for a second assist no matter what happens. So I'm gonna go over. Oh, wait a second. No, it's going to be 0.5 then. The over-under is 0.5.
0.5.
So I'm going to take over.
Yeah, it could be 3-on-3, so I'm going to take the over too.
All right. So we'll keep track of that and see who wins our first unofficial Gold Bar League. When are we bringing that back? December so maybe? Or January?
We got to finish Squid first and then whatever
Squid.
shows
and then we're
after that.
Then we're going to have Rubbermaid.
Rubbermaid, yes. That was the next one. And you guys watch Clickbait? Clickbait?
What is Clickbait?
Is that the one with Adrian Grenier from
I'm not good with actors. I don't know.
No, but the guy from
Entourage.
Entourage.
I honestly never really watched Entourage. So
what?
Yeah,
I'm rewatching it right now.
Plot twist.
I'll watch that. I'll read that.
I've not, but it got like questionable. I saw reviews on Netflix because it looked enticing to me, but I wasn't sure. He disappears or something, right?
He disappears. Basically, it's a loving husband, and he appears in a viral video where he's holding signs that say "I abuse women, I killed a woman," and that he'll die when it reaches 5 million. And there's a chase on to try to find him.
All right,
I'll say this: I will tell you.
Worthy?
Yeah, because now I'm on. I think it's a limited series as well, so there's 9 episodes. I'm on episode 7. And it just took a huge plot twist, and it's like everything in terms of the plot still kind of holds. So I'm really interested to see where it's going. It's the acting. The acting's all right. It's not bad. It's not great. But in general, I don't know. The plot is pretty good. It's pretty enticing. only 9 episodes. I suggest watching it for sure.
Nice.
Is it South Korean and dubbed in English?
No,
Because that's the only shows we watch.
I know. I'm missing
That's all we do.
I miss that in every show. I want to hear something and then read something else.
All right. So thanks for watching here on the Rubber Boots Pod. We'll be with you again next week for episode 3 of Rubber Squid and episode 4 of season 7.
Yep.
Of the Rubber Boots Podcast.
And it's season 7 is also a limited edition series, right?
Yeah. We're going to sell it as an NFT
7.
the whole
This
season.
world. See you next week. Let's hope Lester won. Go get him, Lester.
Go get him, other guys.
You suck, Aquarius.
Okay, so we got to get going for Lester because we only got 20 minutes.
Honestly, I got 5 minutes. I'm so sorry.
How are ya? I got a question that I really wanna ask ya. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Oh, I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. And I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank or the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Do you really like the dunk tank at the fair? Dunk tank.
Let's refrain from saying things like how much time's left, when are we done this? I don't particularly think our listeners really want to listen to our podcast if we can.
No.
Do it.
Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight?